Hi, did you know that your thyroid can affect the balance of bacteria that exists in your gut microbiome? So that might not sound like a big deal, but let me tell you why it is. There are so many people that have digestive symptoms where they feel bloated and gassy, and even they may have like pain in their digestive system, diarrhea, things like that, upset stomach, and they wonder what in the heck is going on. And they also have a slow thyroid, or their hypothyroid. That's the fancy way to say that the thyroid is slow. And so you may have heard some terms like small intestines bacterial overgrowth or small intestines fungal overgrowth. And so all that means is that you have an overgrowth of either bacteria or types of fungus in the small intestines. And the small intestines is a skinny diameter as compared to the large intestines, which there's a little more room. So when bacteria ferment and do what they do, if that's happening in the small intestines, it causes a lot of pressure and gas, and it's very painful. Probably the most common example that we're all familiar with, we've heard of, is candida. And that is like a yeast. It's a type of a fungus that overgrows. And the most notable thing it does is it causes us to crave sugar. And so that makes it really hard. If we're trying to give up sugar, we've got this fungus that's overgrowing in the small intestines that loves sugar, and it's feeding on it, so we're having cravings. And so we have to unpack all of that to really get to the root cause of the sugar cravings. But I say all this because a lot of people don't have any idea of the connection between the gut health and the thyroid health. And I've been doing a series of videos where I'm breaking down into topics, different parts of the gut health and how they affect the thyroid, and vice versa. And I talked in my last video a little bit about constipation and how that slows down the movement of food through the digestive system. Unfortunately, when you have that issue because of a slow thyroid, then you give the chance for bacteria and fungus to overgrow, because things are moving too slow through that digestive tract. And if they're moving quickly, there's not a lot of time for bacteria to multiply and overgrow. But if they're slow, unfortunately, that's when you start having these problems. And I see a lot of people that are symptomatically addressing that. They're taking antibiotics is the solution from mainstream medicine. And then there's other things on the alternative and functional side. We use other things that are non-prescription, but the idea is the same. We're weeding out that bacteria, and that's not a bad thing to do. I do that all the time with people, but we also have to ask the question, why did it slow down in the first place? Why is transit time slow? And get that gut motility sped up so that things aren't taking too long to get through the digestive system. And looking at the thyroid and where thyroid hormone numbers are, and do we have enough of that, and breaking that down really well is a very essential part of that. So anyway, if you want to check out the full article, I put the link in the comments for this video. And I'd be glad to speak to you if you have a question about that, listen to you, and see if there's anything that we need to do to get you some information and get you feeling better if you need some help around your thyroid. Okay, thanks a lot.